Good to see everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday. We have the truth of the day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's entertainment spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with actor and author Rodney Damon Collins. Enjoy today's program. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Tuesday headlines. In national news, gun violence claiming more lives of American teens and children. Gun violence is killing an increasing number of American children, from toddlers caught in crossfires to teenagers gunned down in turf wars, drug squabbles, or for posting the wrong thing on social media. Shootings involving children and teenagers have been on the rise in recent years, says the Associated Press, and 2021 is no exception. Experts say idleness caused by the COVID-19 pandemic shares the blame with easy access to guns and disputes that too often end in gunfire. The U.S. saw 991 gun violence deaths among people 17 or younger in 2019, according to the website Gun Violence Archive, which tracks shootings from more than 7,500 law enforcement, media, government, and commercial sources. That number spiked to 1,375 in 2020, and this year is on pace to be worse. Through Wednesday, shootings had claimed 1,165 young lives and left 3,216 youths injured. FBI data backs that up. The agency released a report on September 28th showing homicides in the U.S. increased nearly 30% in 2020, and homicides among people ages 19 and younger rose more than 21%. In more national news, California coronavirus death count tops 70,000 as cases fall. California's coronavirus death toll reached another once unfathomable milestone, 70,000 people on Monday, as the state emerged from the latest infection surge with the lowest rate of new cases among all states. Last year at this time, cases in the state started ticking up, and by January, California was in the throes of the worst spike of the pandemic and was the nation's epicenter for the virus. Daily deaths approached 700. The latest surge started in summer and was driven by the Delta variant that primarily targeted the unvaccinated. At its worst during the spike, California's average daily death count was in the low 100s. Data collected by Johns Hopkins University showed the state with 70,132 deaths by midday on Monday. It's the most in the nation, surpassing Texas by about 3,000 and Florida by 13,000, although California's per capita fatality rate of 177 per 100,000 ranks in the bottom third for the U.S. In more national news, the Associated Press says risky move, Biden undercuts White House executive privilege shield. It's a risky move by President Joe Biden that could come back to haunt him and future presidents in the hyper-partisan world of Washington politics. Democrat Biden has agreed to a request from Congress seeking sensitive information on the actions of Republican Donald Trump and his aides during the January 6th insurrection, though the former president claims the information is guarded by executive privilege. The move by Biden isn't the final word. Trump says he will challenge the request, and a lengthy legal battle is likely to ensue over the information. Courts have ruled that former presidents are afforded executive privilege in some cases. But the playbook for the legal world is different from the political world. And in the political world, every time a president does something controversial, it becomes a building block for future presidents. Biden's decision not to block the information sought by Congress challenges a tested norm, one in which presidents enjoy the secrecy of records of their own terms in office, both mundane and highly sensitive, for a period of at least 5 years, and often for longer. And finally, in business news, Amazon to allow employees to work remotely indefinitely. Amazon said on Monday it will allow many tech and corporate workers to continue working remotely indefinitely as long as they can commute to the office when necessary. The new policy was announced in a blog post and is a change from Amazon's previous expectation that most employees would need to be in the office at least 3 days a week when offices reopened from the COVID-19 pandemic in January. The Seattle Times reported Monday's message was signed by Amazon CEO Andy Jassy and said company directors will have discretion to allow teams that they manage to continue working remotely. Cyrus Webb, Conversational Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
This is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Let go and forgive. Once you let go and forgive, all your past hurt, your energy will change. You will feel lighter, more peaceful, and ready to live your life to the fullest. The first person you must forgive is yourself. Forgive yourself for following bad advice, expecting someone else to be a person they're not. Forgive yourself for having any motives you might harbor. When you hold on to any past grievance, the only person whom you hurt is you. Understand what another person may have been trying to teach you. Look back and learn from any past hurt so it can finally end. As you practice forgiveness, you will find your relationship soaring and your career turning around because you turned around to become the loving, successful person our society needs. Today, forgive and let go as you enjoy the day.
We are part of my conversation coming up with actor and author Rodney Damon Collins in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us, you're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. Actor and author Rodney Damon Collins joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about what it was like for him to envision his success and now to be seeing it. Here's a bit of our conversation. In the very beginning of the book, Rodney, and I'm sure, of course, you know because you wrote it, you said, as a child, I remember standing in front of my mirror and picturing myself as a very successful person. And now here you are in life, man, doing exactly what you've wanted to do. What has that reflection been like for you to think about that vision for yourself as a child and where you are today?
Oh, wow. Man, I'm going to give you a Cliff Notes answer because I could probably talk for days about that. But, Cyrus, I can just say that that person I see in the mirror, every single day I still have a conversation with that kid. Every single day. And I tell that kid that, you know what, you are doing well. God loves you. Keep going. You are amazing. And so I have that conversation with that same kid every morning when I look in the mirror. I used to think it was crazy to have a conversation with myself. But I'm like, You know what? If I'm talking to everybody else, I need to talk myself up too. So, But it's been an incredible journey. I definitely went through a lot of valleys, and which I think there's so much more growth in the valleys of our lives than in the peaks of our lives. There's a lot of, I think the more broken that we are, the beautiful we are in our lives, like our purpose comes forth through that brokenness that we experience.
Cyrus Webb, Conversation Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversation Daily News. Prepare to guys on tomorrow's more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host Cyrus Webb saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.